time to look underneath. And because I've got no brakes, I've got that ramp facing that way and the other one the opposite way, so it can't roll off. And the rear on some heavy duty axle stands. This is the first time I'm going underneath properly. This is what I thought was fiberglass. We've definitely got some fiberglass around here. This is the make do new clutch cylinder. There's fiberglass round. Why is there fiberglass round there? That's not going to rot there, is it? That's weird. Okay, then back towards the back of the car. This is caved in here. This is under the back seat. The metal's actually pierced there. I reckon the shippers did this. And the fuel tank is massively dented in. It's a shame, isn't it? And got some fiberglass around that jacking point. So jobs for today, I'm going to have a bit of a poke around at all this fiberglass, see what's happening, and try and get that tank off. Take the old fuel out and just have a look at the condition. So I've got to get a return pipe somehow, and it doesn't look like there ever was one as far as I can tell. What's that? Oh, handbrake. Oh, you've got no handbrake as well, so what's going on with that? Oh, that's been chopped as well. What's going on with that? I think it's been chopped. I'll have a look for the other end. Well, I've given up on that underneath business, so I'm going to try and get the tank out. We've got 3 of the screws out of 4 there, but how that comes away we'll have to find out. Okay, there's only 2 screws in here. One hole is got a grommet in it, so I guess that's for the breather. So there's a screw in opposite corners, and what it screws into, I don't know. Because you can't access this from the back anyway, it's enclosed from the wheel arch and the boot. And that first screw just screwed all the way out, but that other one, it turns and turns and turns, but won't come out. It's not a mystery for this car, but this is a place where you'd expect it to be rotten, and it's like new. I think we have to take these out then as well, to get that out maybe, do we? I don't know. So everything's a mystery here. This is the filler pipe coming off the tank on one of the centre of the screen, and I guess that little one is the breather, and that disappears under behind this panel here, which is enclosed inside the boot underneath and outside, but I can feel a rubber pipe attached to that, so you would expect there to be a Jubilee clip there. I'm pretty sure, yeah, there is a rubber connection. I'm still bemused by this fuel tank, how to get it out. But this panel here, that's the factory panel, and it's not fixed at all along the top, that's loose. And down the bottom there is some real gungy stuff, I don't know if that's weld or fiberglass or whatever. And I'm thinking maybe it's removable, I'm not sure because it seems to disappear up there, but we'll grind it back and see what happens. This is weird. I've taken off this gungy corner here, and underneath is pretty decent metal. So why they've plastered everything in fiberglass? I'll just take some more off and see what it looks like. That's just bizarre. That's most of the fiberglass out, and this is what we've got. So the upper level is actually very good, and all that lumpy stuff is old under seal, so that'll come up nice. Now we've got a pop riveted vertical ring of the wheel well, and a separate lower part, and this doesn't seem to be fixed to anything, so all that's got to come out. And if I have to remake that, that's not, oops, if I have to remake that, that's perfectly fine. I like doing stuff like that. Right, let's pull it off, see what we got. I do find it quite exciting. Boing, these in. That's the top off an oil drum almost. Ah, load more copper bits. Oh, that's nice and wet. Okay, so it is holed. We've got it's holed there and it's holed there. That's a pretty extreme repair to plaster it all in fiberglass. That'll be easy enough just to make some panels to go in there, I think. As long as I can get the fuel tank out. Else that might be more tricky. Maybe that was his problem. But it still doesn't help me on getting this fuel pipe disconnected. Back to drawing board. Well, I've fetched all this off from the underneath, and look how thick that is. That's got to be 8mm thick there, and it's all covering good metal. I think he must have worked in a fiberglass factory. Anyway, looking for that removable panel, and it's not there. But you do it here. You take the backlight off. Put some light on that. And there's the filler hose. Look at that, that all looks pretty okay. It's a little bit holey at the bottom of the wing there. I can sort that. There's a few nuts and bolts in the bottom as well. Those hose clamps, well, they're like new, don't they? So we had some money spent on it. New sender, new tank. This hasn't been on that long, but I'll show you the other side. Like new, except for this massive dent here, and I think the shippers have done that. I'm trying to pick it up with a forklift or something. But I wonder if I can pull that out. I've seen some slide hammer jobs where you glue an eye onto there and pull it out with a slide hammer. I don't really want to do any more than that. I can just pull it out a bit, that'll be alright. And some ideas on the return pipe. So we've got the fuel filler. This is the breather here, which goes up to the fuel filler. Fuel take up, and how to put a fuel return pipe in. I'm wondering if I could maybe tee onto this breather pipe, or a small tank connector onto this filler neck, or any other ideas. I just thought I'd show you the fuel I took out of the tank. Good colour, isn't it? Of course, this is my fuel tank, and I've got these big dents here, there and here. I think somebody's tried to pick the car up with a forklift truck. So I'm going to use a glue gun and glue these on here and try and, you know, slide hammer type thing or lever thing, and try and yank some of it out. Now, is this going to work? I just had to take a phone call, which is good, because you always want to try this before it's gone off. I'm going to try a screwdriver first, if I can. Might have to be a slide hammer. Let's try this one. Okay. Of course that was a complete failure. They just snapped off. Now the main dent is directly under this. So I need to find out if it's damaged the pickup pipe. I did blow into the tank from the filler, and I couldn't actually hear any bubbles. So I'm guessing this might be damaged. And I wasn't going to take this off if I didn't have to, but I might be able to change this and put a return feed in as well. It's got crushed a little bit, but it's not bad, but it's very clogged. But maybe I can put something down there and knock some of this dent out. But I've got to come up with a plan here somehow. That didn't really work. And there's a ring of spot welds here. And there's like a little sump type, some sort of affair going in there for the pickup pipe. And I don't really know what's going on. So I might have to open it up. I'll take this out and see if that helps me any. Okay, maybe foolish. Well, it is foolish. Don't try this at home. So I've run compressed air through it, cold water, compressed air, hot water, and I'm going to set fire to it. So you'll be able to see this is how he died. Oh, well, that was disappointing. We'll try that again. What I've noticed with this tank is it's the same pressing for each side. So we're looking at the top now, and we've got this raised lump here, and that's a little drain sump on the other side. So the only difference being is we've got that hole there and that hole there, which they must punch in later. So looking at the bottom of the tank now, I think I'm going to have to bite the bullet and chop it. I don't really want to. I'm just trying to decide where's the best way. So we've got this ring of spot welds there. So I think I'm going to have to come outside there, around here somewhere, and then halfway up the side and see what that exposes, and then try and weld it back together. But I'm not looking forward to it. I'm still debating what to do with this tank. I'm going to clean the filter out now, and then have another think. When I put this ultrasonic on, it's going to make the noise go weird on the camera. Inside the boot now. And of course it wasn't quite as good as I thought it was. We got rot down there and rot down there, and the bottom's not very good. So I'm going to replace it sort of, I don't know, fairly near the top. I've made a, I don't know what you call this, a stripe. And I should do a lap joint here inside the boot. I don't think there's any need to do a butt weld here. It dips down here, but I'm going to make that a straight line. I can't scribe over that bit. Right, next day, this is what I'm up to. Can't remember what I said, but I had to cut that panel out, bring it back to shape, tacked it back with a MIG. I'm just waiting for some electrodes to TIG it. And it's all come back together except for this little piece here. It might come back as I weld this up, we'll see, but it might need a little plate on there. And then I'll probably lead over it as well, just to be sure. And then in the boot, ton of scraping, heating, rubbing it down with petrol, and I've just washed it off. But not bad actually. It's not as bad as it looks on this camera. So I'm going to replace this wall around here and that donut shaped piece. So that's my job for today. There's my cut line. So crack on with that. So I'm going to cut this wheel well out now. I've just measured it all round from this straight edge off the top, and there is a bit of a slope on it. I've got 6 inches here, 6 1/4 there, and 5 1/2 down this end, and I think that's probably a little bit critical so that it doesn't interfere with the petrol tank. So try and maintain those distances. This is one of Fitz's tips. It's very tempting to take this off, and I often do, but if you cut it back to cut some off it, you can still get in loads of places, and it gives you some protection. Alright, got a big hole now. Nice to get rid of that. There's some of the fiberglass there, and this is the wheel well. Everything in sight is covered in fiberglass. Now it does look, now I've got it out, this back end does look higher than these sides on the bottom bit, but whether that's just because it's rotten, and I'm going to ignore that. I just don't want it to interfere with the fuel tank. Oh well, carry on. So I'm going to do this in 2 parts, well, more than 2 parts. I'm going to do a wall with a flange on the bottom, and then a donut, and reuse the centre. And with the power of Google, I'll put a picture in now. That tells me what the circumference is from the diameter, and it's slightly different, so I've sort of just taken an average, and it's over 2 meters, and my brake will only do about 950 millimeters, something like that. So I'm going to have to do this wall in 3 pieces somehow, and then this donut will be in 1. So I'm allowing 20 mil for this. This will be the flange at the bottom. Which is probably a little bit much, but it gives me a little bit of wriggle room. That much. That should do it. And I was going to do this in 3 equal parts, but that would mean wasting quite a bit of steel. And as I'll be butt welding the joints, so you won't particularly see it anyway. And there'll just be a final lap joint on the last joint. And I've left this long so that I can drop it in and trim it to suit. I'm going to join all the bits together first before I put shape in it. It'll be very difficult to keep that straight once it's in a circle. And I think I'll just weld this joint and leave this joint fairly open, I think. I might have to put a little pie cut in that later, else I'll never get that through the shrinker stretcher. Right, so we can make this work. I'm going to mark a start and a finish on this. Is this actually going to work? that's it for today. All the bits made. Bit of welding to do now.